known about the TED Talks narcissism or psychopathic, because the TED Talks people is an inhuman people. It's inhuman people, because humanity has a specific meaning. It means a rational being. Rational means you understand reality. That's understanding reality, not superseding reality. And that's what the irrationalists do. It's the narcissists, psychopaths. They supersede reality. And it's so common in it's polarity. It's a mundane polarity that's in every aspect of society, because it's in our education system, it's in our news media, it's in our social media, it's in our pop media or pop culture. It is coming intentionally in the pop culture. It was deliberately done. The CIA, has it's been declassified. The CIA was working within pop culture, and it's really, people should understand, the CIA and MI6 is one and the same. If you look at, they were doing the same thing in England as well. And this, when we talk about MK Ultra, that's the same people. This is your Tavistock society, and it's still in power today. They're still doing their same thing. So you look at a non-rational person, they are intuitive, instinctive, they're instinctual. They have intuition, and that's really tune in, tune out. That was the Maryland, Charles Manson, counterculture. That was CIA, but they want you to tune out, tune in, tune out. This becomes your part of your grounded self-actualization, and it's not a minor distinction between a human being who understands reality to an intuitive mystic. It's not a small distinction. It's quite pronounced, and the violence and narcissism that's manifest it's outrageous, because you can give examples. I can give several. I can give just in my daily mundane life, I have to deal with these people, and it's at the job agency where I work, these are the people in the office are scoundrels, and they're so the Marxist grounded mentality, because they're all Marxists. There's 3 of them, and it'd be 5 of them, 6 of them, 7. They only hire Marxists, and this is problem with HR. HR is pretty much brainwashed by the Tavistock protocol. That HR is notoriously this way, and it's a Ponzi criminal mentality that doesn't actually work. This is why communism doesn't work. It doesn't work on paper. It's not good on paper. If you thought communism was good on paper, that means you're stupid. That's the definition of stupidity. You don't understand something, but you feel that you do. Just like the monists, they feel they understand reality, but they don't. They don't understand reality. They supersede reality in their mind. What they are is obnoxious, feeble, and caustic. They're really, it's poison. So you look at the people in the HR department, how they look at economics or logistics. See, they'd rather have 50 people who do nothing. And that's the kind of, that's their preferred, employee. They want to have 100 people do, this is literally, it's drug dealers, crackheads, and criminals. That's their, favorite people. Then you have the astute, sensible, rational, understanding human beings. They totally mistreat them. And myself as an example, these guys in the office, everything is, they have to, demean me and exalt themselves as if it's just understood. They're just superior to me. I'm just some kind of the least of the least. I'm the worst of the worst. Somehow, and in their heads, they feel it's absolutely true. And the number of insults, they're so insulting. It's is there a reason you feel inclined? Not even just inclined. It's so warranted for them, because they'll do it every day. Every day I walk in the office, and it's I can't be polite enough or patient enough with these people. They'll have me sit there waiting for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I'm is this, can I get my form? And they're you just gotta have to be patient. I'm I've been here for 2 hours. What are you talking about? Meanwhile, if you're a crackhead, you can come in there and just, shout at them and go, hey, I'm here for 5 seconds, give me my stuff. Sure, yes, sir. That's how they, it's so, that's inhuman. That's my point. It's an inhuman concept. But you look at TED Talks, you look at these progressive leftism. And I saw a video, they just put a new one out, and it was just pure narcissism, because they're saying, like, us leftists are just superior because we're open-minded and we understand things because we're open-minded. People who are closed-minded don't understand things, and that's not us. We understand things. And it's like, it was just narcissism. It's like, it's really a bunch of short-circuited non-human beings, because it's like, to them, open-mindedness is do what we say, hear, obey what we tell you. Don't question what we say, just accept it. That's what they are determining as open-mindedness. And if you're one of those human, rational beings, you go, wait a minute, let's scrutinize this, let's be critical about this. No, that's closed-mindedness. See, that's the baseline feeling that the Tavistock, society has placed in people, because they're funding it. Because when you have a fiat central finance, that's what's being funded. And it becomes an intuition. Oh yeah, the anti-human, anti-truth, that's the supreme being. That's human 2.0. And it's really manifest. You see them in a psychopaths. Because I think when I was in Hudson County, I had the very great displeasure to be in contact with like 500 of these people. They were everywhere I go. I'm going to meet like a dozen of these people all over, Hudson County and beyond. And they were really on assignment. They were getting, this is how the Soros Foundation, or whatever else you want to call them, all those, Antifa people, they're actually networked, and they get paid. They get paid in like Target, cash card and gift cards. That's what they get paid in. And so you have these like narcissistic clowns just like following you around because you're a human being and you're beneath them, and they need to teach you a lesson and put you in order because they're a higher being. And it's a vulgar thing, because it was like, to deal with like 500 of these people, I'm hearing their vulgar speech all the time, and they're actually saying the same exact things verbatim, word for word, that, oh my God, that's the most enlightened, unique, they're the most unique, rarest, specialist, genius, brilliant, beautiful person to ever exist. Every one of these people. And and I'm just someone to be abused by them. And they really feel that that's correct. And it was like, I'm like, well, look, I can record them, get the anecdotals, and go like, look, this is what the guy just 20 minutes was saying, and here, this guy yesterday, same thing, and this stupid girl over here saying the same thing. I don't think you guys are enlightened beings at all. I think you guys are aggregate, poison on the earth, and it's coming from Tavistock. It's coming from your institutions of power and influence. These are the churches, the schools, the finance, markets, and everything else in between. And it's something that needs to be recognized, because when you see TED Talks is having this like 3,000 people in their audience, and they're telling you how us liberals are just morally and intellectually superior to the other people because they're inferior, and they just don't get it. These are like the monists. These are grounded, short-circuited aggregates. They're really just like carbon and sugar. It's just a chemical action, and it's against humanity. And if you're a human being, they're against you. It's a fact. That's a reality, and people should recognize the danger of it, because when you have these narcissistic, malignant people, they feel justified. And you can look at this huge aggregates of people, huge, these countries full of these people, huge clubs of these people. Like, they will murder you without cause, just on their feelings. And it doesn't matter. These are massive aggregates too. So it's like, just for being, an American, they feel like they're entitled to murder you, straight up. And it's not just a couple people. This is billions of people worldwide. I have conversations with people, and pretty much, as long as you're like a narcissistic liberal, you're exempt to a degree, because you're still an American. You're going to be killed later, but not right away. First, we'll kill off the human Americans, then the other, they're next in line. And this is something we've seen in history, repeat itself. But people should understand like the manifest danger of the narcissistic, psychopathic liars, which are very common. It's not a rare people at all, not at all rare. And it has been mentioned that this is becoming the modern phenomena. Is the psychopath is a very common thing, but people should quite understand. Go, look, this is academia. If you look at TED Talks, they just made a video the other day, and they were like very clear. And you look at things like what hyperbole is. Hyperbole is an animal's intuition. That's their feeling grounded in their survival mode. But it's not a rational. When you're looking at hyperbole as your rational, critical judgment, it's not it's not copacetic. This is how the left is. So you look at, open-mindedness is just obeying what CNN tells you. That's their feeling. That's what they feel open-mindedness is. But then it goes like this. This is how the Tavistock, paymasters, the rulers, this is how they do things. They can any kind of hyperbolic argument to say anything whatsoever. So they can say, if you increase abortions, we can lower the price of gas. Yeah, more abortions means less pollutants. This is hyperbolic, reasoning, and they'll make a statement like that, and they'll have a bunch of outlier, statistics, and they'll say, see, it's true. And then anybody who's a liberal will only accept that as truth. That's the truth. Killing babies lowers the price of gas. It saves the world, saves the earth. You must kill babies. Otherwise, you're bad people. And believe that the narcissistic entitlement that the leftists have is they're always, every day people are getting murdered on account of the liberals' feelings. Every day, many people. It's just locally. To find someone murdered today, probably don't have to go further than like 20 miles, literally. In a school, in a hospital, in a doctor's office, somewhere. Today, a liberal murdered somebody because they felt morally and spiritually superior, intellectually, morally, and spiritually superior. But that hyperbole is on the news every day, and you listen to the news do this or like someone like Trevor Noah. That's all he does is hyperbole, and you'll look at the comments and the entitlement of these non-human, evil people who feel that that's science, that's reason, that's sensibility, that's empathy. They feel that this is empathy. They're empathetic because they're in alignment with this Tavistock, monolith, this monistic worldview. Now they're the divine people superseding reality, and anybody else is in the way of progress. It's not a small issue. If you look at the absolute violence in these mindless narcissists, they're liars, they're dangerous, they're poison, and it becomes like, again, the hyperbole. They can very simply say anything. They can go, gun control, it lowers pollution. The more gun control you have, the less pollution you have. They can give you any kind of